Hi, Dr. Malka here, your Los Angeles-based chiropractor and acupuncturist. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to improve your low back posture. So too much arch in the low back can cause anterior pelvic tilt, or flattening of the low back, usually caused from slouching, can cause the muscles to spasm, the pinching of the nerves, and pressure on the disc. In our modern world of inactivity and prolonged sitting, the stomach and the glutes tend to get weak, whereas the low back and the quadriceps tend to get tight. And this is called lower cross syndrome. Beginning with myofascial release, remember we want to loosen these quadriceps, or the front of the thigh, because they tend to be tight, and we also want to release the low back muscles. So we're going to use my Theracane, my favorite, and just come back right underneath where the low back muscles are. Using the torque, you could just do a massaging motion, starting in the lower back area, right where it meets the bone or the sacrum, and slowly bring it up. And at any point, if you feel any tightness, just pause. You can use your pelvis to just rock back and forth, massaging in a cross fiber friction manner. And coming up the spine. And again, when you reach any area that's tight, just pause and push into it using torque. If you don't have a Theracane, you could also use a tennis ball, just placing it under the low back. And again, with the same motion, moving the hips back and forth, massaging that muscle, bringing it up, using the hips to massage that muscle. And just continue until you feel there's a release in the muscle, or if this motion no longer hurts. That's a good indicator that the muscle's relaxed. Using the Theracane, you could either use lotion and do a stripping action of the quadriceps, or just use, we have little nodules here, just use the nodules to rock back and forth on that quadricep muscle. Starting again from the attachment where the quadricep meets the hip. That tends to be a really tight area. Start there, and you can just come all the way down that quadricep muscle. Again, if you don't have a Theracane, you can turn over, put the tennis ball in that thigh area, and again, use a rocking motion to massage that quadricep muscle. And then you can roll up, working the lower part, and then continue to roll up, relaxing and massaging that muscle. So now that we're done with the releasing, we're going to continue with stretching the low back and the front of the thigh, or the quadricep. The first stretch is child pose. Bring your body back and tucking the pelvis and stretching that low back. You can bring your arms out to get a shoulder stretch, or bring them into the side. Another way of stretching your low back muscles is simply to lay on your back and bring your knees to your chest and give them a nice big hug. You can rock back and forth and feel that tightness of the low back just melt away. And to stretch the quadriceps muscle as well as the hip flexors, scooch to the side of your couch or the bed. I'm obviously on a massage table, so I'm going to come to the side, keeping the foot on the table. Just drop the leg down. And if it's the other side that's tight, or if they're both tight, you'll want to switch sides. But I'm just going to show one side for this demonstration, and then you can pause me and continue with the other side. So if you feel a stretch in here, but it's not quite as intense as you'd want, you can just simply reach up to your ankle, drop down, and bring the ankle into your buttocks. And you should really feel a stretch on that quadricep. Now that we've completed relaxing the low back muscles, as well as the front of the thigh or the quadriceps, it's now time to strengthen the stomach muscles as well as the hamstrings. You're going to put your feet hip width apart. You're going to tighten the stomach, and you're going to rock in place, tightening the stomach and then releasing it. So here I have an arch. Here the pelvis is tucked. And this is a Pilates move. You want to try to find where your neutral spine is. And mine is just about right here. You want to bring your stomach into the spine, tighten the stomach, tighten the glutes, and come up into a bridge, tucking the pelvis. The buttocks is going to come up first, followed by the low back. And you're inadvertently actually getting more of a stretch in this quadricep, which is what you want as well. And then you're going to come down vertebra by vertebra by vertebra, and the buttocks is going to be last to drop down. Let's do this with a little bit of breathing. Go ahead and tuck your pelvis. You're going to breathe in and breathe out, bringing your pelvis up. That works the gluteal muscles as well as the hamstrings. And breathe out, coming down vertebra by vertebra by vertebra. My nickname for these exercises are the tushy pushies. So breathing in and breathing out, coming up into a bridge. The buttocks comes up first, followed by the spine. Make sure you don't widen the legs. The legs should stay hip width apart. Now come down, breathing in, vertebra by vertebra by vertebra. And then breathe out, pushing up, lifting with the buttock first, following with the spine. And you can continue doing these tushy pushies for a full minute. Again, starting with the buttocks, coming all the way up until you're flat. And then come down. So while we're in this position, we're going to focus on strengthening the stomach muscles. So a lot of you are used to doing sit-ups like this where you're pulling yourself up. That's actually unhealthy. You want to work the stomach muscles the way you use the stomach muscles. So if you're doing bicep exercises, the bicep does this, so it's natural that you want to work the muscle in this position. But the stomach muscles, as well as the low back muscles, are what we call spinal stabilization muscles. So you don't want to be doing a rocking motion with those. Instead, you bring your legs up. You can rest them on the chair if you want, but do not tuck your feet under a bar. You want to just rest your feet on, or your legs, your calves on a chair, 90-degree angles, or just put it in this position, that's fine. Very lightly, put your fingers on the back of the neck, tighten the stomach, and then come up and hold it. Then you can hold this for a full minute. If you find that's not enough of an exercise, just continue to lift up as much as you can. And at some point, if you want, you can put a weight on your chest. And you want to hold this for a full minute. And you'll feel this burning. It doesn't seem like it's doing much, but it's going to start burning. And when you're finished, slowly relax down. Now to work the oblique muscles, again, you don't want to be doing things like this motion, this rocking motion. You're going to simply bring your legs up, drop them over to the side. Oh, we're getting a little bonus. We're getting a low back stretch. Bring the hands once again behind the head. Breathing in, breathing out, and lifting up. Bringing this elbow to the other side of the hip. And if you hold this for a full minute, you'll start feeling the burning in here. And then the other side, bring the knees up. Bring them to the other side. Hands lightly behind the head, no more than maybe the pressure of a silver dollar. And then bring the head up, bringing this shoulder or this elbow to the other side and holding it. And you can hold this for a full minute or two. Again, if you need a little more of a challenge, you can put a weight on the chest if you like. And relax down. And then finally, to work the gluteals and the hamstrings, to strengthen those, you'll want to lay on your stomach, the legs perfectly straight, 1 inch just lift, the one leg up. Hold it for about a minute, and you can see my glutes firing and the hamstrings as well. And relax down. Then leg perfectly straight, just 2 inches because we don't want to activate the low back. Just lift the leg up in the air. You can hold this for a full minute. And then if you're ready and you feel strong, you can lift both the legs up. And after a while, if this doesn't feel like it's enough of an exercise, you can always put some ankle weights on to create a little more pressure. And those are my exercises for lower cross syndrome. We will be launching a new YouTube video every Wednesday and Friday at 3 p.m. And I'll be available for any questions you have or suggestions for future videos.